Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I am finally able to give you a little bit of a life update and to explain where I've been all summer and all of that. It has been the most whirlwind of a summer I could possibly think of. For those of you that don't know, in May my sister was diagnosed with leukemia. And so she has been going back and forth between here locally, Vancouver, she's been staying with me, good girl, and then she goes home for a month at a time to Victoria. She's going back and forth, and she has treatment every other month, IV treatment, and then she has pills that she takes when she's at home. So we've been dealing with that and going through that. She's in remission already. I guess the way it works is she's in remission, and what she's giving, the treatment that she's having, makes it so that her remission will be long-term. Go play, please. And so that's been going on. So she's kind of been living here off and on for a little bit. That's kind of wrapped up now. She will be she'll just be taking the ferry back and forth now because school's starting with her kid and all of that great stuff. So that was one thing that's been happening, but that had been shared, and that was happening. And then in June, Sean wasn't feeling great, and we didn't really know what was happening. He was like really swollen ankles, and he was having problems breathing. Like he'd walk up a flight of stairs and he'd almost have to take a knee, and just lots of stuff that were just like, okay. So he did the right thing and he went to the doctor, and he, obviously being not a specialist, wasn't really sure, asking all sorts of questions, lots of things, and turned into a follow-up on top of a follow-up, needing I think he went in for a chest x-ray, and he had a scan too. He had a I think he had an MRI, or no, he had a CAT scan. I don't know, he had whatever, a scan of his body some way. And it also turned into I guess the chest x-ray made it appear that there's something wrong in the lungs. So of course, you know, everyone's worst fears. So we were working through that, not really sure what was happening. They were not giving us answers. It was not going as fast as the way my sister was going with how quickly she was diagnosed when she had seen a doctor. So we were very worried. Definitely we were afraid it was cancer. His doctor was afraid it was cancer, kept asking him if he had lost a bunch of weight and all of that. He hadn't. He had lost a little bit of weight because he was also, while he was visiting the doctor, they had some blood work and noticed that he had high cholesterol. So as a family, we've been fixing our diet to fix his cholesterol because we could all do better with lowering our cholesterol. So yeah, that was happening. So he had lost a bit of weight, but it wasn't like a bunch of weight all at once. So there were signs, like his swollen ankles and all of that. There were signs of it possibly being cancer, but not really sure. So it went from possibly being lung cancer to no, it's not lung cancer, but it could possibly be lymphoma. And yeah, that's scary, right? Because especially when at first it was lung cancer, like your mind just goes to a bunch of different places. But it wasn't. And so he ended up having to go and get what do you call that? A scope. I cannot think of what you call it right now. Thrombose. I'm so sorry, it's completely escaped my mind. But the one that it goes up your nose and down your throat. And they did a scope. I'm not sure if they did a biopsy on him when they did that. I think that when the doctor did the scope, he might have been a biopsy on top of it, actually, because we had to wait. So he had that. Sean was put out for that. He was asleep when that happened. And basically, they said that happened on the 5th of August, I think. And they said, call on the 23rd and follow up. So we had to wait 2 weeks of not knowing if it was lymphoma or if it was something else. Thankfully, we had a little bit of hope in early August because the the doctor at the hospital said, I think it might be this thing called sarcoidosis. I don't think I'm saying that right, but I'll have it up so you can see the spelling if you're interested. He says it's a really rare disease that you can get, or thing that you can get, and a lot of times it is misdiagnosed as lymphoma because of the way it is. I guess it's quite rare. So a little bit of hope, and that's kind of what we're clinging on to, waiting for 2 weeks, trying to figure out what was going to happen. Thankfully, we found out, I don't know when I'm posting this, but I'm literally recording this like 20 minutes after finding out what it actually was. So Sean messaged me today. It's the 23rd. It's Monday. He got to call, and it is that big old word that I can't say, meaning it's not cancer. So, such relief. I can't even explain to you the relief. Whew. Okay, and so what this means is he'll have some follow-up tests in a couple months, and he'll go see a rheumatologist, because we're pretty sure, now that we know what's happening, we're pretty sure the swollen ankles actually have to do with arthritis, which doesn't really shock us. Sean was a soccer player for many, many years, and the fact that he's having arthritis in mid-30s is not all that surprising. So this summer, it was a lot. And not knowing, obviously, you don't tell very many people. So there was a small circle of people that knew what was happening, and that was it. And oh my goodness, talk about, I keep telling people, 2021 made 2020 seem like a vacation. It's not been very easy. So thankfully, we know, and we've got a brighter outlook on what's going to happen. I can come up with a plan. It also means my scrapbooking will come back in. Obviously, when you deal with a very stressful event, the idea of creating and being able to produce stuff was just so not there. I had to take some time off from both Speak Alone Scraps and Confessions of a Paper Addict, and thankfully they allowed that. And they didn't even, I told them I could stop being on the design team because I just wasn't sure what was happening, and both Virginia and Jody are like, no, you let me know when you're ready and we'll get you right back on. So amazing design team ladies there, so thank you for that. And you know who you are, that were there with me. So, and let's get into some fun stuff and the outlook of what is going to happen for the rest of the year. Now that I'm so relieved, and I'm so relieved I'm crying. I can stop crying, I swear. It's just been, it's crazy. It's craziness. But I have this lovely stack of pictures. See all of those? These are all for scrapbooking and creating, and I'm very excited. I got just this fresh stack of pictures to use. And I also printed off a bunch because I want to do a Project Life for 2021, and I've been working through it. And I have it all the way until July is ready to go. It just needs the page protectors that I've ordered, so those are coming through. Moira and I are going to be doing a low buy type of thing, so it's not a spending freeze, but really it's being very wise about how we spend the little bit of money that we're allowing ourselves to use. And we both kind of like the idea of taking and just buying once a quarter or once a season. So I did that through Scrapbook Your Joy. I ordered my fall collection, which I've already shared, and my winter collection will be here any day, and I'll share that with you. So I won't be shopping again until a spring collection comes out and I make that decision. And then I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of stash kits. I'm started to work through that. My How to Kill a Kit with Style is going to kind of work into that. I'm working through a couple things that can then eventually turn into stash kits, or to be used for making stash kits. So lots of stuff coming about. I'm ready to go for 30 days of sketches. I only have a few layouts left. I have been able to, I did nothing in July. I stress ate, I gained 15 pounds and I just hung out with my family, but scrapbooking did not happen. But August has been better. I mean, we knew pretty early on in August the chances of what was happening. So I was feeling a little bit more creative and I got some done. So 30 days of sketches / Scraptember is good to go. That starts on the 1st of September. If you're not signed up for that, I'll leave the link for 30 days down below so you can have a look and play along if you want. And let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully get back into the few series that I was doing with people like Craft IQ, Everyday Inspiration, Off the Board that happens on the last Wednesday of every month. I haven't been able to participate with any of that. Christmas and whatever month we're in. Yeah, I haven't been able to do any of that this summer. So hopefully I can get back into those and just have fun and create and get back to being creative, get back on a schedule. Our schedule this summer has been non-existent and it will be nice to get into a flow of life again, knowing that there is a much more positive outlook on it at the moment. So that's my life update for you guys. And I know a lot of people say, you know, you don't have to share, but I am very much an open book, as much as I possibly can be. And I personally think it's important to share. So especially if you follow me and you watch my videos and all of that, I mention things that if you didn't know my backstory would make no sense. So I like to post these type of videos so you kind of have an idea of what's happening. You guys are my family. You are my creative family, and a family gets to know what's happening. So there's my update. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait. September, you guys. It's like polar ice jumping, or whatever you call that, when you jump into freezing cold water to reset, is basically what September is going to be like. So super excited, you guys, and whew, goodbye summer 2021. Honestly, I'd flip you off if I didn't think I'd get in trouble on YouTube. I will see you guys all later. Bye everyone.